Hi guys, Ray from Pro String. In today's tutorial we're going to restring a badminton racket, a Mizuno Promax ZX3, it would seem, backwards E. I have not strung this racket before. 22 by 22 stringing pattern, pretty standard stringing pattern, with Yonex BG80 multifilament string, 0.68 millimeters gauge, 4 knots. Client has requested 4 knots, so we're going to pull our first two mains. As it's a 4 knot, I normally tend to do 2 knots unless requested by the client. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 to each side. Like I said before, we've got 2 middle strings, find your middle. And then with the side we've measured and counted, we're going to just slide our fingers across, just like this. And then we'll cut ourselves a nice angle on the string, which is always helpful. Just a reminder, do not apply much pressure on the knobs that move your mounting system. Give it some space to move around. Right, here we go. We're going to pull our first main. Sorry, tension is going to be 28 pounds of tension. Nice and high for plenty of control, I guess, is what they're looking for. So you're always going to have a small gap after pulling the first one. Make sure you just move your fixture, 6 o'clock fixture, ever so slightly. Don't apply much pressure again. You always want to give the racket space to mold into its original kind of shape that it needs to go into. 3 to each side, as always. We have a broken grommet here. Fine, cool. Hopefully I've got the right grommet for this, because I tend to, the double grommets can be a bit hit and miss depending on the type of racket. Let's see. Hopefully this one just fits nice and easy. There you go. That's what we like to see. I do need to get excuse me, some different double grommets. Sheerly because they don't fit the Yonex. The ones I have, the Yonex seems to have a, well, especially here, it may have not even fit on this one, but the rackets here seem to have a slightly thicker beam, as you can see, where the shaft meets kind of the loop or the head of the racket. Therefore it tends to always be a bit short, so I did try getting them a while back, then I haven't tried again because they were out of stock and I completely forgot. That reminds me that I need to get them. It's always good if you are going to do badminton rackets in a large amount as we do, then your best bet is to get lots of different grommets because you never know what you're going to need. This is what my box looks like. This is actually for tennis and squash rackets in case there isn't a replacement grommet for a certain type of tennis or squash racket when they get discontinued and the client wants to keep the racket. These are all badminton. You can see I have lots of different here. So always handy to have, as you just saw. Right, now we have our first 3 mains to each side. And then we carry on doing exactly the same. And again, 3 more. drink of water. Excuse me. And our sixth. This has 11 mains to each side. And I feel like this grommet is ever so slightly, the one I replaced, a bit longer. There you go, now it looks exactly how it was, just in better condition. I'll try to show you guys what it looked like, but if you're seeing any cracks or any broken grommets on the badminton racket because the string is so thin, you really want to get those changed. I see them all the time, almost every day. So this one was quite noticeable. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it literally, this front piece here is just completely missing. If you can see that. As to the other one, the other side is fine. This one, no damage done, but this one's missing literally 50% of the circular top piece, let's say, the circumference. Anyway, they're cheap, but of course I get through so many of them I do have to charge the clients. It's just normal racket maintenance for badminton, as you would in squash and tennis with the replacement of the grommets. I charge 50p, 50 pence, equivalent of probably what, 60 American cents or 60 euro cents, something in around there. Right, no space, not much space. So, piece of string, it can be tennis, squash, badminton, as you wish. I use polyester tennis string. It seems to work well, gives me more gaps than other strings. Doesn't do any damage when I take the string out either. I used to just use badminton strings. Fold it over and I'd put it there, but it never really used to help. Funny enough, I got that off a badminton YouTube tutorial, but it just didn't work for me. I found myself looking for something a little bit thicker, and this worked really well. Just keep them up there next to me. Always use the same ones. Once they get too used, I'll just cut another piece of string up, 4 to 6 little pieces. Oh, I've just got back from tennis practice actually. Good practice, apart from breaking my racket. Yeah, don't try that at home, especially in the first game of the set. It was not intentional. It just has somehow just slipped out of my hand. Oh dear. With the chit chat, I've forgotten about the string supports or aids. Well, you know what, I'll just wing it for now. I'm definitely going to put one here because I do find that, well, you know what, I'm going to go back on myself because I do know exactly what's going to happen. It can be a real struggle sometimes. And that's the last thing I want. There you go, there you have it. A little piece of stringing aid even, to just give yourself that little bit of space for when the main strings cross over and they cover another hole. I gotta say, I like the paint job on this racket. Some nice workmanship. And I gotta say, I very rarely see a Mizuno racket. Badminton rackets. Funny enough, I used to use Mizuno rackets. My brother had been given a few rackets from Mizuno to, actually 3, 4, 5 here I think. I'd been given a few rackets it looks like Mizuno was going to possibly launch a few upper end rackets, competition rackets, and it turns out they didn't make it to the market. All the rackets that they gave to their clients or players were not liked. So my brother's case, he just gave them to me. Well, as you see, I've pulled the string again because I forgot to up the tension, which you should do always. 15 to 20%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is 8. So what I don't understand is, so you can see I'm not completely familiar with this stringing pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's gonna have to be. I should have probably looked at this before. Oh, I'm just gonna double check this model. This is what you do, guys, when you're not familiar with a racket. It's best to have a quick look. Mizuno Promax. I'm just gonna find the picture. ZX. Oh, so it's ZX3. My bad. It looked like a backwards E, but it is a 3. Oh dear. Need to get my glasses, huh? No, I don't wear glasses. I cannot find that racket strung, which is never fun. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Found a few pictures, but none of them strong. Interesting. Promax. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So when you're doing a 4-knot, this is probably why it's not so popular, because especially for 4 knots, very odd. Very odd. Okay, we're gonna have to just figure this out along the way, because the knots. Where are we gonna do 4 knots on this racket? See, well, it's interesting. It's something I haven't encountered before, and I just don't like that the knots go all the way down. So the string, it finishes here on my 11th main, and I need to do a finishing knot, and then the knot's here. However, where on earth am I going to tie the other knot? It would have been great to see this racket strung. If it would have come, ouch. If it would have come, yeah, don't do that either. Don't clip your finger with the starting clamp. Right, we'll figure this out, guys. Figure it out with me, yeah? Interesting, very interesting, because this racket, caught my finger a little bit with the starting clamp as well. It's all going wrong, all good, but just shows that nobody's perfect, and very much so myself, very far from. All right, we'll figure this out. I'll have to come up with a plan of action. It just shows you, normally you can find loads of these rackets online, but I can't really find any of these rackets strung, and even if I did, it really wouldn't help me because it wouldn't show me where the knots are probably tied. So, where are we tying this this knot? Because it's definitely an 8, unless it's a 9. That would make sense. But from what I can see, whoever strung it last or previously strung it from it's an 8. What I mean by 8 is from the 8th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th main. Looks like it's a shared hole. Yeah, it's definitely going that way. Normally the grommets are quite stretched, so it's definitely indicating that the grommet needs to go that way. The grommet at least indicates that it needs to go that way. But I wonder if the person previous to me didn't string it correctly. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. So I've actually got a piece of string here already from before that I need to use. It's just beyond me. It really is. It really, really is. It's not going to fit there, is it? Let's try. Let's try here. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, that was close. Shit. Oh, excuse my language. I'm tempted to use the awl, but we could witness something very nasty go on here. Yeah, there's no space there. I'm just not even going to bother risking it. How about this side? Is this side going to be a little bit more forgiving? Oh, it's just getting to that. I mean, it's almost through, I think. I can see it as well. Sugar. Right, let's try this. I'm going to try to open up the grommet ever so slightly here. Guys, this is something that's never happened to me before. So if anybody comes across my my little video and has the solution, by all means. A bit stuck. I am a bit stuck, I have to admit. There, that's outrageous. It's gonna pop, it'll just pop. I know it too well. I just know it too well. I'm trying my luck here, guys. Let's see. Let's see. This is a first. This is a first. Yes. Yes. Right, okay. I have a feeling that I should have probably tied the knots from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the 7th. I've tied them on the 8th, but you know what? It's gonna have to be live and learn. This video would be actually very good for me as well now, for future reference. I may never see this again. So, double knot. Remember, the knots when you're doing 4 knots, the knot has to be on the outside part of the racket. There it is. Okay, well that took a bit longer than expected. I was not expecting that, but because the racket didn't have any strings when it came to us, or to me, I had no reference, and it's always good. If you're stringing an unfamiliar racket, it's always handy to take a quick picture of it, maybe. Okay, fine. Okay, all right. I was just more afraid of using the awl and popping the string along the way, but we're good. We're good. Everything looks okay. So, 4 knots. I don't recommend pulling. Put your tension up if you need be, but don't pull one individual string because it might slide through, and you don't want to go too big on the knot. You don't want to ever do more than a double knot. But here you have it, guys, the Mizuno Promax ZX3. I always give it a little wiggle so it tightens up a bit more. Seeing that we're pulling 2 strings, which you shouldn't do unless at the bottom of a badminton racket. Okay, under over, right. So as you saw before, I was using the awl to open up the grommet ever so slightly. But God, every time I've done that in the past, 90% of the time, when you're looking to open a grommet on a badminton racket, honestly pray to the gods, because I rarely have to use an awl, but in this case today, it's been a savior. I would have been very stumped if I wouldn't have been able to figure this out. So be very careful when you're stringing a Mizuno racket. They may have very different way of I may have never strung a Mizuno racket, actually, now that I'm thinking about it a bit more. Surely I have, surely, but I don't remember them. That's how infrequent or unfrequent I see them. Alright, so this one I can either go through here. I'm going to do that instead of using, so I have a lever here at the bottom. I have a lever that I can open and close, and that stops the machine from moving. Yeah, maybe your machine has it, maybe it doesn't, depending on what machine you have. If you have a cheap manual, very unlikely. Oh dear, something's gone wrong. Over, under, so I've done a mistake on this string, I guess. Have I? Under, over, under, over, under, over. Something looked dodgy. Something looked different for a moment, and I don't know. I think that's okay. I don't know what I saw. It is late at night, so forgive me. No, there's something wrong. We need to find this. It's actually a pretty damn good tutorial this may. But more so for myself. Now I've done a double. I've gone over somewhere over under twice and not noticed it. Okay, let's see. That's under and that finishes over. So, in theory, let's see. Okay, that feels right now. I had made a mistake somewhere, but I couldn't find it. And I still can't find it. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Right, so I might need to go back one more. Because there's definitely a mistake somewhere. It's just the way the clamp is pushing the string over. No, it's not. That's under. Alright guys. Alright, let's go back to then. Wow. Maybe I shouldn't be stringing so late. This looks okay to me. Alright, I'm going to pull the string. Right, that looks okay. Oh, there it is. There you are. There you are. Double, double. Right there. Right, there you go, guys. Found it. Check your work. But you should be able to tell, even if you don't see it, you should be able to catch it at some point. Yeah, we're good. Okay. All right. Right, got a string in the way here. All good. Right. Right. Well, things happen, and we live and learn. Whew. I'm making my money on this one, that's for sure. So, making me work hard for this one. Sorry guys, I need to send a quick message. Go back underneath my on here. I've got to have it on selfie mode. Okay, half an hour, 29 minutes. Not the end of the world. Well, we could have been done by now, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, hey, you live and learn. Can be very frustrating You just gotta keep your cool. Important thing end of the day is that you do a good job, and the client comes back. Okay, make sure you keep cutting yourself nice sharp edges. As you can see that I couldn't get the string in just surely because the edge needed a nice clean fresh cut. Well, I hope this is the only video. I'm not going to delete this, to be honest with you. I could easily just say, hey, you know, what a crap tutorial. Maybe it is a crap tutorial. But you know what? It happens. It does. It really does happen. Doesn't matter how many years you have. Sometimes it's so hard to know every single racket, and they're just rackets out there that for one reason or another they're not that popular, and I might have just come across a very unpopular racket, at least in Europe or UK, and yeah, just again, the end again. So this happens a lot with the softer, thinner badminton strings. So just keep cutting those thin edges because the holes are so small. Okay, coming to a shared hole here. Let's see how much it wants to cooperate. Okay, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Excuse me. Well, we're not far from the end now, guys. Thanks for bearing with me, and don't be too aggressive on the comments. But you know, the important thing, like I said, is it's important to, you know, sometimes find the solution. You've got a problem. It's a bit like life. You got a problem, figure out a solution. I tried finding pictures online of it, and I didn't want to take too much time either. But yeah, if you're not that experienced, stay away from this racket, because what I did down here to find some space on a shared hole, in order to find where I could share a hole to tie a knot or make a knot, because I'm not tying a knot on an anchor string. You're just doing it separately out of the string, that's out of the racket, as you saw. Got a covered hole. Okay, good. So these little stringing aids that I put on the main strings, the green ones, can do miracles actually. Let's see this side. Maybe I spoke too soon. Another angle, please. Thank you. And there you have it. That may have solved the. Yep. I'm going to remove these two stringing aids, just like that. They just come off really easy. Polyester string is quite a smooth type of string, so very long piece of string. Just trying to lift it up a little bit so it goes into its kind of more normal place, okay? There we go. The string actually managed to get under the grommet. Okay, that's a bit better. Another sharp edge again. As you can see, this can happen with frequency with a soft badminton string, as this is multifilament. Alright guys, last cross, finally. I don't want to see this racket again for a while. But the intentions of these videos as well is to put as much content out there, seeing that I get lots of rackets. Not much space up here to fit the clamp very tight. Be careful, if you don't have much space, take your time. It might have looked like I just put it through nice and easy, but no. It's not the case. Really wasn't the case. So push that through. Parnell knot, which I use for tennis, squash, and badminton, regardless. Racket. Right. There you go. It's quite tight, so I didn't want to push it down too quickly, because you can rip the string, badminton strings being so thin. Alright guys, got through it. Take away these last two string aids, and there you have it. Should be okay. I'm going to straighten up the strings. A little bit more movement than normal, perhaps. String wise, normally they come out pretty straight, but hey, it's okay. I think we're good. It's quite tight. Alright guys, well, that's a wrap. Yeah, in my opinion, not the smoothest run, but there you have it. Got through it. It should be all good. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully I was able to add some knowledge or any other information there. Thanks, take care, bye bye.